This just in. Breaking news. Bacon is tasty. Chris McSizzles is on the scene, reporting live.
Quote, fake news. Fake news. You are fake news. It's all fake news. Fake news. It's phony stuff. It didn't happen. It's all fake news.
Welcome, everybody, to another edition of the Technically Difficult Podcast. How are you guys doing? As you can see, we've done some new scenes, fixed some things up, and hope you guys all like the new logo. Thorn, how you doing tonight, buddy?
I'm doing all right. How are you doing?
Oh, not too bad. We are episode 4. What?
Still says testing alerts.
3, right?
Well,
Is it 4?
It's 4 because of technical difficulties. 3 didn't get saved. So we're still going to count this as episode 4. Can't have a technically difficult podcast without technically difficulties.
No.
So what you been up to, Thorn?
Work. I've had a rough go lately. So, yeah, a lot of that going on. But, yeah, other than that, just worked. And I got back to streaming last night after having a week off. Because my wife was home. If anybody doesn't know, when my wife is home, I don't game. I don't do any of that stuff. That's kind of why I have so much freedom to do games and streams and whatnot when she's at work. So, yeah, she was at home all week last week. But back to work this week, and so I'm back in the saddle.
Back in the saddle again.
I'm back!
I was just looking to see if everything. I'll have to figure that out later. Myself, again, I've been streaming quite regularly, guys, trying to get everything up there. I did this week, Thorn. I beat Assassin's Creed Origins story.
Oh yeah.
So, I got New Game Plus activated. I may go back and start a New Game Plus run at some point, but probably not for a while. It's a couple.
What's New Game Plus?
Basically, you start the game all over. You get to start with all of your equipment, but you go back to basically level 1. And you get to redo the whole story again. It's harder difficulty because obviously you now have all of your awesome equipment.
Yeah.
And you've got to go through it all over again. So, New Game Plus is a thing in a lot of games. I know, what is that? The game where you roll a lot. I can't even think of the name of it. Dark Souls has a New Game Plus mode and stuff like that. Everything's, you keep all your stuff. You just start all over with levels and you work your way through it again.
Okay.
Something to think about.
Yep.
Been just busy, guys. I mean, it's been a crazy, crazy week. Daughter goes back to school on Friday, and I have a miniature tournament this upcoming weekend. So that'll be what I am up to.
We need to change the stream title, by the way.
Did it not? I must not have hit the update information.
No.
I said it. I just didn't hit it. Technical difficulties, guys.
Technical difficulties.
So this week's episode, we were going to do a whole episode just around sports, but there's been a whole lot of shit happening
Oh,
since
yes,
the last
there
time we
has.
get in there. So we're going to get into some other stuff first.
Dude, I signed a petition today.
Yeah, I did too. If you guys haven't heard, Sony and Marvel did not come to an agreement yet. I saw that today. Did not come to an agreement yet on the state of Spider-Man in the MCU. And it's been going back and forth now. Apparently, I'm hearing both sides. From what I understand, is Sony fronted the bill to make the movie, and they collected most of the profits from the movie. Marvel got...
They collected.
Go ahead.
So, well, Sony released a statement today.
Yeah.
So Sony collected 100% of the profits from the movie. So everything from the movie, and Marvel had the all the merchandising rights. So Marvel got all, the backpacks, the lunch boxes, all that stuff, all the merchandising Marvel got. But Sony released a statement and they said that Marvel came to them and wanted more money at first, but then they said that Marvel had actually said that they thought that Kevin Feige was stretched too thin, and they didn't want him working on Spider-Man 3.
Huh.
So, which I don't buy it at all. I think that's a crock of shit.
Yeah.
I think that's Sony trying to save face and trying to put it back on Marvel like a negotiation tactic.
So
Just trying to get more money.
some of the things I heard in the negotiations today was through one of the Twitter posts. Take it at your word. It is Twitter. I don't call it a reputable source, but it is a Marvel. I don't want to say if it's a fan site or whatever it is, but they basically said that if it's not MCU, Tom Holland and Zendaya both said they will not do another Spider-Man movie.
Hell yeah.
So hopefully they hold their ground, and that's what happens. That will force Sony to basically cave a little bit. I don't know who's wrong or right in the situation. All I know is that by them pulling Spider-Man from the MCU, it fucks up a lot.
Well, yeah, it does. Well, and it is all about money, and I get it. Sony had this deal in place where they did 100% of the profits, and Spider-Man: Far From Home brought in $1.2 billion. I get it. When 1.2 billion, you don't want to bring in 600 million. Even though you're talking about that much money, when you can have more, it of course they're going to want more, but they're shooting themselves in the foot because they have Spider-Man and they have Venom.
Yep.
That's it. Outside of like the villains that you have, but that is it. They don't have really anything else, and so either they're going to have to retcon a lot that's been done through like Endgame and Civil War, even Spider-Man: Homecoming and Far From Home, because they can't talk about Iron Man, they can't talk about Captain America, they can't talk about the Avengers or what happened at Endgame, they can't talk about Thanos or anything. So they're like, okay, so how are you going to get Peter Parker to San Francisco to meet Venom, or how are you going to get Venom to New York to meet Spider-Man? It's without saying where they've been for the past few months or why they're even doing that. And this is what Sony is not thinking. That whatever that guy's name, I forget his name, that's at the helm of Sony, but he's a idiot.
Yeah,
he's an idiot.
It seems like it's a really really messed up situation, guys, and don't know quite how they're gonna go about that. I don't know, man. It's weird. So in that
before Far From Home came out, people were talking about the contract, what was in the contract. There was some things that had leaked out about the contract. One of them was like if Far From Home doesn't pass $1 billion in the box office, then Sony gets all the rights. That was like some contract that was leaked out there. So now everybody's saying, well, that was an old contract. I just wish at some point, because it's Marvel. Spider-Man is a Marvel character, and just work it out to let Marvel develop them. However you have to do it, let that happen. Because Marvel is not going to screw up Spider-Man like Sony has screwed up Spider-Man over, 5 movies? I mean,
yeah.
So
it's a really delicate situation that they got about. And here's what it is that Spider-Man right now, the way in the current state, Spider-Man needs the MCU to survive. The MCU does not need Spider-Man to carry on.
No.
Now that they've got X-Men back in there and all the mutants and the Fantastic Four,
Deadpool.
Yeah. You never will have to worry. it's not going to hurt Marvel to not have Spider-Man. It's just going to fuck up some storyline shit, and it'll be interesting to see how they pull it back in. And that's really, really what it's all about at this point.
Yeah.
So that's the big news coming out on that front. What else do we got coming up this week here?
Is it G23?
You talking about the gaming convention?
Yeah, that comes out. That's like this weekend,
It's
I think.
going on right now, I believe.
Is it?
Yeah, it's some big over there. I know they were showing the lines for some of the other conventions, and then you saw the line for Cyberpunk 2077. You have
Oh,
literally nothing, and then everything. It was that bad. It was just crazy.
yeah.
Never-
Oh,
oh,
Matrix 4.
which I have no idea how the fuck they're gonna pull that off.
I don't know, but I heard something today that Lawrence Fishburne is not listed anywhere in the casting choice, but Michael B. Jordan is listed as a possible casting choice. So now they're thinking that maybe it's going to go back in time a little bit to possibly like a different iteration of the Matrix, where Michael B. Jordan plays a younger Morpheus.
I was thinking that, or they're going to just keep the storyline where, because they say how it always resets itself.
Yeah,
You know, so maybe it found a way to reset itself again. Only this time, Neo and whatever face Carrie Ann Moss's character,
Trinity. Yeah,
Trinity.
Trinity.
they're
Yep.
still there. They're running the ship now, and then they find Michael B. Jordan, and they basically start it all over again. That's the only thing. Those are the only two options I can think of to really make it work.
Yeah, I don't know because they're whatever. The easiest way I can see it being done is just what the 7th version of the Matrix, because this last one was the 6th, I think. So Matrix version 7,
Yeah.
where they might have like Neo actually be the bad guy because of the way that Matrix Revolutions ended. With him taking out Smith, they might have the one actually be the bad guy, and some different spin on it like that.
I don't
So
see that though, because they want to take advantage of Keanu Reeves' popularity right now. He's the most popular person in movies right now. I don't think that's even close, but yeah, that's just what it is.
yeah, there's so
it's-
many ways. Only one of the Wachowskis is back on it. I forget her name. The one with pink
Yeah.
hair. I forget her name.
I know you're talking about Laura, I think, but
Or Anna.
Yeah,
Anna
one of
or
them.
something. Lana
Yeah.
Wachowski. Yeah. So she's back, but the other one is not. So she's writing and directing Matrix 4.
What I'm actually kind of hoping for is that instead of it being called Matrix 4, they call it Matrix Reloaded, and they just reboot the fucking whole thing.
No, and see, because they had talked about in 2017 about doing a reboot. The original director of the Matrix had gone to Warner Brothers and said he wanted to do a reboot, and so they started looking into it, doing that, but they never signed any cast on for it.
Yeah. Have you seen the news about Disney Plus and the streaming service there? Bless you.
Oh, sorry.
Basically, right now, they were running a deal. I don't know if it's still going on, but you could run. You could get Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus for the same price as Hulu right now, which is a hell of a deal, to be honest with you, for them to kick that off. And Mandalorians should be available day one of Disney Plus launching, which will be freaking awesome. How much have you seen of the Mandalorians?
Not enough. Not enough to know a whole lot about it. But I do like that. What's his name is leading the charge on it. It has. Well, Kevin Smith is involved, and then
yeah.
the guy that did Iron Man. The
yeah, I know you're talking about. His name just right out of my head. But you brought up Kevin Smith. Did you see the news coming from Kevin Smith?
no.
He now has the rights on Netflix to He-Man and the Masters of the Universe.
Oh, really?
And I believe, I'm not sure if it's the cartoon version that he's picking up or if he's picking up from where the movie left off.
Oh God, we don't need to pick up where that movie left off.
If you go back to Eternia and you just stay the fuck there, it'll be fine.
we need a new movie. We don't.
It's gonna be a series. It's gonna be a series on Netflix. So yeah, it'll be interesting.
Don't they have Noah Centineo cast as He-Man?
That I don't know. I didn't see the cast. I just saw that Kevin Smith was basically at the helm. And Kevin Smith is an ultimate fan, so I know he'll do the damn show justice.
Yeah.
So Kevin Smith is a great dude. I don't know him personally, but he's on the bandwagon, by the way, guys, of Spider-Man staying in the MCU.
Yeah, like everybody is. Sony has with one in one single day, Sony has become the greatest superhero villain or super villain ever.
Well, here's the thing with that, going back to Spider-Man. Sony purchased Insomnia Games, the creators of the last Spider-Man game. Flat out bought them out. So they basically ensured that the Spider-Man game will stay on the PS4 exclusively. I mean, there's no other reason why you would do that. Insomnia doesn't have many other big name games that I can think of besides Spider-Man.
Yeah, and see, I would love for that to come to PC because I want to play it, but
yeah,
No.
it makes me mad. I can't find my disc. It's
sounds
in the
like a
house.
personal issue.
It's in the house somewhere. I just don't know where. So
You said disc. That was DISK.
yes, DISK.
Disc.
No other
Can't
bounds.
find his disc.
Patch notes for PUBG came out today. They're adding in weather back into Engrel. I don't know if you saw that. Some other small things, nothing big. Rose getting revive points recently. That's really the two big games we've been playing mostly.
Dude, I don't know what was going on. I'm serious. If Row was like a professional sport, and I would be drug tested after last night. I have no clue how I was
You had a
how I
game,
was pulling that off.
You had a game of any games last night, man. It was just
I mean, 5 kills, 4 kills, 2 kills, 3. I mean, I took out that whole team that one time, but then I died to the zone, so that was a fail. But still, I was like, "What's going on, man? I can't miss."
Who's psyched for It 2? I'm not a horror movie fan. You know, I've never watched the originals back in the day. I didn't watch the last one that came out.
I didn't
Moms
watch the
don't do it
originals.
for me in the first place. I'm like, I've been there, done that. You've seen the remake, but not the original. Yeah, that's
I haven't seen any of them. I was wondering how they were going to do the story because in the story, in the books, well, we'll just say the books are very much more dark and real world ish than what the movies portrayed.
Yeah.
So I just have no interest in it.
yeah.
And the thing about all of those, like the serial killer movies to begin with, like all those kind of things, I worry about now how much of that people take too seriously. So it was funny last Halloween. People like all around the neighborhood, people had red helium balloons tied to the sewer grates around the neighborhood.
Yep.
So
Some movies that are coming out that I'm interested in. Angel Has Fallen. I don't know if you've seen any of that series.
I did. I've seen all of them. Yep.
I don't remember London Has Fallen, but I kind of do. It's a good franchise. It'll be worth watching. I don't know if I'm gonna see it in the theaters. I remember Olympus Has Fallen. London, I don't remember as much. know
London, it was still the president, and he was trying to get him to a safe house or something like that.
Yeah, it's not.
You know, that to me. Those movies are now like in the line. I'm not saying they're as good as, but they're in the line of Die Hard. It's like,
Yeah.
good movies to watch, but if you're just looking for just action movie, you're not looking for story or whatever. I mean, like, I actually just recently rewatched Live Free or Die Hard, the one with all the like the computer stuff in it, just because I just wanted to see a bunch of people getting their asses kicked. I didn't want to see any. I didn't want to like sit there and think about a plot or whatever. I just wanted to see a lot of action.
Things go boom, man.
So
We'll watch it. That's not wrong. not wrong at all. I mean, you got to do with what you got to do. I was just looking to see if there's anything else that's really supposed to. I don't know of anything else coming out until you really hit the Christmas season and you get.
You have Star Wars and all that. Yeah.
Yeah. Just to see how that's going to end up is really the only thing that really. It really gets my goat right now. Anything in October?
Rambo: Last Blood.
Well, I saw the preview for that today, and that it's got a lot of similarities to the original Rambo: First Blood, and that's obviously by choice. It's one again. It's going to be in the same breath as the Expendables. You don't expect a lot from the plot. Things will blow up. It'll be a good flick.
They're doing another Charlie's Angels. Meh.
That actually doesn't look too bad. I don't know if you've seen that cast.
I've never seen the first one.
Well, it. Don't think about it from the last one with whatever her face was. This is a whole new movie. They're basically doing a whole fresh reboot, and it's got the chick from Twilight in it, and she actually looks pretty good in the movie. I can't even think of her damn name right now.
Yeah, Kristen Stewart.
Yeah. So, Jay and Silent Bob reboot. That one's going to be kind of funny. Oh, they're doing
I'm just looking through the
reboot with Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back.
See, I don't see any other. There's a lot of good ones in 2020.
Is it Wonder Woman yet this year, or is that start of next year?
I didn't see it. Oh, Top Gun comes out next year.
Whoopee.
I will watch that. Don't you hush your dirty mouth.
Jumanji, the next level. The last Jumanji was funny as shit. So
it was a good one.
If they do this one justice, but guess what, guys? It's a Sony flick. So if we don't get Spider-Man, we just might have to boycott it. Really, you got Star Wars: Rise of the Skywalker is really the only thing else left that comes out this year.
What are they? So Ghostbusters 2020.
That's next year, yeah. It's
Sigourney Weaver's in it. Paul Rudd's in it.
Reboot.
Is it a reboot?
It's a reboot of the original. It's not a new movie. It's not a sequel. It's supposed to be a new movie. The original writer of the original Son is supposed to be writing it, directing it, and all.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
I saw pictures the other day of the actual Ghostmobile in Italy. They shipped it to Italy for whatever they were doing, and pulled it out of storage. So they brought the original car back. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do with it. If it's actually going to be a reboot, or if it's going to be a new cast or new beginning type of thing. Hard to say.
Yeah. Oh, Bill and Ted Face the Music.
Oh yeah, that's coming out next year too, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
So, yeah, I mean,
have we gotten to the point where we are like out of ideas for new movies? I mean, when you are bringing back Bill and Ted, hilarious movies, but when you're bringing that back, are we at that point?
have to say you're at a point where is there anything really that you can do that people haven't seen before
Right.
at this point? So you do have to wrap people in with the story. As fun as it would be to get another franchise off the ground, it's so hard with the likes of Disney around and those other big franchises to really grab a hold of things and grab them and run with it. I mean,
But see, I mean, Disney, what's the only thing that they're doing really new is Frozen 2 this year. I mean, because everything else that they have, like Marvel, the comic books have been written. It's like they're not, embarking on any new ground or anything.
right.
They're bringing back, like Mulan and Aladdin.
But
all.
everybody, I don't know if you heard that controversy. Everybody's pissed because there's no little Chinese dragon running around.
There's no Mushu.
But they're telling the original story.
Yeah.
So I'm not mad about it. I kind of want to see it because it looks like a good movie. It is what it is. I heard they're rebooting. Did you see the Mortal Kombat character release today?
No, I didn't.
So they released their upcoming characters for their expansion, and they've got Joker.
Yeah.
They've got Spawn and Arnold Terminator.
Arnold.
So yeah, so that was a pretty big news that just kind of slipped through there, guys. And I know we're all over the place, but that's kind of the way we run.
Well, it's like severe ADD. That's what this is.
Yeah.
It's not. We have a focus on everything and nothing at the same time. So we had originally planned this episode to like go through our NFL teams, like that we're fans of, and choose like everything that we're going to do for like how they were going to do this year and whatnot. And with all this stuff that came out, we're like, oh well, we can talk about that, but who wants to?
We'll probably dive into it yet tonight, but it'll be not as big as we planned on originally.
Yeah.
Man, it's just been the one thing we didn't touch on, guys, and it's been really kind of quiet this week is the stupid shit people do on Twitch.
Oh God,
And
more of it.
Yeah, it's been a weird couple of weeks.
Couple of months, man. It's just been like people are losing their damn minds.
And I have not really spoken my mind on the whole Twitch, Mixer, DLive, Facebook streaming things, guys. But I'm basically making the stand. I looked at Mixer for a couple of hours. I played around with the interface. I played around with it. I'm staying on Twitch, guys. It's simply the way it is. There's just things about Mixer that are not quite right for me yet that I feel makes it a better platform. And if you're on the other platforms, by all means, stream there. I don't care.
Yeah, do what feels best for you. But
Yeah.
there's not enough of Mixer to make me say, hey, I need to make a change.
I know some people have had explosive growth over there. They've been doing really good, but my thought process tells me what's going to happen when the hype dies down in 3 months, 6 months, 8 months.
Yeah.
Ninja alone isn't going to carry the platform.
Well, what will happen is the same thing that happened over at Twitch. Because right now on Mixer, before the Ninja move and all that, Mixer was just kind of this jumbled like area. Like everybody was there. Everybody was taking like a piece of viewers or whatnot. So then then Ninja moves over, then all that shit with his channel and whatnot happens, and it's like suddenly it just. So what will happen is you'll have Ninja, you'll have the elite streamers, then you'll have your like normal small streamers like like we are, and there won't really be anything in the middle.
Yeah.
And that's gonna happen, and then people are gonna start talking about coming back to Twitch and all that.
all for it. If
I
you
do-
want to go between whatever.
yeah,
do it.
I-
Do
I'm-
whatever is
I'm
comfortable
fine.
for you.
I do want to on the whole Ninja and his channel and all that. Now, I of course am against them showing pornography on a stream on a channel as a recommended channel. That wasn't necessarily in Twitch's control.
Yep.
But they should have done something because it is their platform that they are at fault. But I don't feel, because once Ninja made the announcement, made it very public that he was leaving Twitch and going over to Mixer, I don't feel like he should have a whole lot of say about what happens on Twitch anymore. He left the platform, he went to another one. He made it very public and very apparent that this is what he was going to do. But he's still watching his channel and he's still worried about his brand on Twitch. But you can't have it both ways. You can't,
Well,
and that's
you kind of can, because even though he's no longer partnered or affiliated with Twitch or an affiliate on Twitch, it's still his brand, his content. That's still his channel. Unless he deletes that account, that's his brand. So I see where he's coming from. The algorithm that they put up there, the people started off streaming on Fortnite. They went into doing their porn stuff. It obviously shot up the tracks and was there in the top. It was the way they have they need more moderation team. They do, and that's the big thing going around right now is their moderation team is too small. It's like 14 people for the entire United States, if that. It's like 2 people for Canada. It's like 1 person for the New Zealand. They don't have the staff they need to really manage this platform. They're trying to do it all based off of algorithms, and they can't catch everything. And unfortunately, it slipped through the cracks. What do you do? I don't think it was intentional. I don't think it was anything like that. It just happened.
now I do think that them putting other streamers up on there, I think that was very intentional. It doesn't happen on my stream. Like my stream, when I go offline, it doesn't say, hey, check out these other streamers or whatnot. It doesn't do that. I think that was intentional.
It was something they were testing. They admitted it was something we were testing. As soon as, well, I won't say as soon as, but when everything happened and they came out and made their apologies, they said they have canceled it for right now until they get it fixed, and we'll reinstitute that at a later point in time. So they admitted they fucked up. But damage was done to their brand, to that stuff. And a lot of people left, and a lot of people are going to, and you're right to just do this, guys. Don't bash another platform. I'm giving my opinions. There's things I don't like. There's things I don't like about Twitch, but we got to live with it because it's the platform I choose.
If you want to bash a platform, fine. That's your prerogative. That, to me, that's unfounded. It's not, it's a waste of time to bash a platform. But my God, do not sit there and bash a person because they choose one platform over another.
I guess that's more where I was.
Let everybody have their own choice. I'm going to stay on Twitch because it's what I've been building for the past couple of years. You want to change, more power to you. If I'm able to, I will support you. If we're friends or whatnot, I would ask for the same in return. If you don't want to do that, fine. Good luck. Just all this just BS of my friends are still on Twitch, so they could no longer be my friends or whatnot because they stand for a platform that does this, and that's ridiculous. Come on, people, we got to stop being so
petty.
Petty and quick on the trigger on this stuff. So
everybody makes mistakes, and even platforms even make mistakes. And yes, it's a large company that made the mistake, but you gotta move on from it. So they're trying to get better. I expect to see after TwitchCon some major things to say they're gonna fix certain things. I know they said it last year. They said hold us accountable and all that stuff there, and they're not. But from what I heard, why a lot of these big streamers aren't being banned is because they fucked up their contracts when they signed them. Not the streamers. Twitch fucked up their own contracts, and they can't ban them for a long period of time. I don't remember the exacts, but I had a partner I was listening to that basically came on and said, the way they're written, if we ban them for more than so many days, we owe them a bunch of money. And it's just the way it's written. So they, instead of permabanning these people, they just give them a 2-week slap on the wrist and move on. It explains a lot. It explains
Yeah,
some of these.
a lot Doctor Disrespect.
It's not even so much that was an honest fuck up that just wasn't thinking, heat of the moment type of thing. Anybody could have done it. Now, granted, you or I do that, we're banned for life.
God, you know, we might have some criminal charges pending against us.
Yeah,
You
but-
know,
and I think he probably would have had there been kids in that bathroom.
there were kids in the bathroom.
I heard there was not.
Yeah, there was one. It was on the far wall when he walks in. There was a kid
Okay.
at the urinal. Yeah.
And
So
again, I
what?
don't-
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. But long story
Yeah.
short is it's more about the chick that said the hateful speech about going to the whatever store, and she basically came out and said, I'm not worried because I've got dirt on, or maybe it was Alinity. No, it wasn't Alinity. It was the other chick. Basically said that she's got dirt and she knows their secrets and won't get banned, so it doesn't matter. You know, they need to figure out a way to fix those contracts or start correcting the ones in the future. You know, simply put, do what you got to do, make it right.
You know, how about you just do this? How about you just end all current contracts
You could,
and then make everybody go through the process again? You know, like a new Twitch partner program.
which I don't think is going to be necessarily the wrong way or the way they have to handle it, but they need to get their contracts situated first before they can really do something like that.
Yeah.
You know, everybody says the thing about Mixer is that their partner program is laid out, blah, blah, blah. You got to have this many followers, this, and the other thing. And that's all fine and good right now because they need people. But if they were as big as what Twitch is, they'd be in the same boat. They would start limiting who could become partners, so on and so forth, and eventually to be in the same boat. So
Yeah, because you dilute your product when when you just have open gates.
Yep.
You know, everybody gets in, then yeah, I mean you dilute your product. So
which
a
is
Mixer
also
will
why-
get there at some point.
Yeah, I mean they're owned by Microsoft. Microsoft isn't going to go away. They will be a good competition. Competition is good for both platforms.
It makes them better. It makes everybody better.
I mean, did you see that they are beta testing with some of the larger, not necessarily partners, but larger streams, their own, I don't know if it's you can make currency, make bits just by watching the channel, or they're basically doing the same thing Mixer's doing with their Sparks. You
Yeah.
level up as you watch streams. Is
Huh.
it wrong? No. I need more information before I can really judge it, but I think it's a cool feature. I'm assuming that they're testing it now, and after TwitchCon, it'll roll out to everybody. That's probably what I'm assuming.
They need to fix their bits and the free bits and watch ads. For about a year and a half I've not been able to get any bits by watching an ad.
Yeah, you can't watch it. And
I'm
part
locked
of that-
out.
I can't watch anymore either. Part of that is due to the fact is that
They don't have any more advertisers.
they don't, well, it's not just they don't have any more advertisers, is they can't get, how do I want to put it, is they don't have the right advertisers coming in. Ad block is a problem, so they're trying to find ways to, fix things. I don't know. I just, the free bits is what they need to go back to, and if this is how they have to do it, great.
Yeah. I can't think of the last time that I got bits in my stream.
Actual bits.
Yeah, I mean, I think actually it was. Well, it wasn't your wife when she like obliterated my stream for 22 minutes. When she did her bit wall.
Yeah, I get them occasionally. I get them. Jarl drops some in there every now and again. Miss Mad drops some, a few here and there.
Yeah.
And then she realized that she's just giving her money to me anyway. So she puts some other places, and I'm okay with that. The bit system is cool. They just need to fix it. They need to get it figured out and get it up to date and go from there.
Yeah, I'm just trying to look at my recent events to see when I last got a bit. It was by Hobo
Yeah.
a month ago.
You've also been not streaming as much as you used to either.
Yeah,
Like last
that's
week
true.
really killed you. You know,
Yeah, I did.
you get the momentum going, and then all of a sudden, boom, nothing.
Something happens. I know, man. And it's so frustrating. It's like,
It's until we can make it to the point where we can do it full time, which is way in the future. It's the life we gotta live, man.
yeah. That being said, Matt and I we would never turn down somebody that wanted to gift, what was it, 1,500 subs to both of our channels. So for the low price of $7,500, you could you could gift subs to me and Mad Wolf, and we could stay at home.
And if you do that, we will both wear a dress on a pantsless Thursday.
Hey, whoa. I mean, I think I stretched it a little bit last night eating the circus peanuts. Okay,
I do have that challenge going on right now, guys. If I reach my 35 sub goal for the month of August, Miss Mad has said that I will have to wear a dress on stream, and we'll do it on a pantsless Thursday, and it'll be entertaining.
Wait, for who? I think Miss Mad benefits the most out of anybody.
We'll also be doing, if I hit the 25 goal, then we will be doing a giveaway. I'm nowhere near any of that, guys, so we'll see what happens.
We've got a lot because I would like to get this Tech Diff podcast, this channel, up and going to where it could, possibly start bringing in some subscribers and bits and stuff like that, so we can invest in some more, like
Stuff for
some
the
actual,
channel.
like professional graphics for the
Yeah.
podcast, things like that. I envision doing a podcast eventually, getting it on iTunes and stuff like that, where people can download and listen to it, not just watch a live stream or a YouTube video, but all of that costs money. So this we have, you and I both have a lot, like we're being pulled in a lot of different directions as streamers. But I don't want to say that and have people think I'm complaining, because I'm having more fun now streaming and doing all that than I have for a long time. So it's a good place to be.
I'm in a real good place too. Speaking of that, is I'm enjoying what I'm doing. It's just trying to find the time to do the things that I want to do. Like last night, my goal was to work on the things I worked on before stream tonight. Start setting up for, which we'll get into in a minute here, guys, our upcoming D&D podcast or D&D session right here on Tech Diff Podcast. And trying to get that all set up, and it didn't happen last night. We got involved in games. I had a great time doing it, but it's like trying to find time and spend time with the family and spend time with the people that I care about and doing all the things that we got to do. Being a streamer is a full-time job in its own right, even if you're not on camera.
Yeah, and even if you're not partnered or what, I mean, if you want to, not even talk about success. My thing is anything worth doing is worth doing right, and so I don't, and I've always tried to, like, if I'm not just in a place where I feel like I could be entertaining or have fun, I don't stream, and it's the same thing. I don't want to do anything half-assed.
Yep.
So it's, and it's just along with, the whole, the Misfits community, that's taking off. But I'm glad that we waited until we did to bring that about, because I think I was able to learn a lot more about communities and running them and what what I'm looking for personally.
We've
And then
made a lot of mistakes. A lot of mistakes with different communities, guys. It's amazing.
yeah. Yeah. So
Thorne and I have been together since Team M days. We really weren't talkative back then. It wasn't until we hit Moxie
Yeah,
that we
Moxie.
really started to hang out and started to talk, started to play games together. Drunken, another co-founder of the Misfit community, was part of our trio, and we had great times together. If you guys don't know, Thursday nights on our channels, we do what's called Pantsless Thursday. It used to be Pantsless PUBG Thursday because we played PUBG religiously on Thursdays.
Then we figured out that we suck at PUBG.
So we moved on to other games, other BRs, and so it's basically Pantsless BR night. And we play whatever BR we feel like playing, whether it be from
Row, PUBG,
PUBG,
Realm.
Royale. There's a few other ones out there that we've experimented with over time. Right now, Row is the flavor of the month. I'm not putting anything past any of those other games. They're good for whoever plays them. I'm just terrible at PUBG.
God, I'm terrible at Apex.
Apex is one that I'm terrible at it too. And again, I haven't put a lot. I tried to put a lot. I wanted to like that game so bad, and I'm not saying I hate it. It's just that I wasn't good enough. It wasn't fun because we weren't good at it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It wasn't. It's a cool game. It's a very cool concept, but at the end of the day, I mean, if every round is you're getting killed in like 2 minutes from when you land, then I mean, it's just not worth it. As a streamer, you don't want your viewers to see the constant loading screen not because the game is like stalled or crashed, but because you suck and you're constantly loading into new games. That's a problem.
And Apex's load times wasn't great.
No, it took a while.
And it's kind of like what Realm was. You spend a lot of time, you load into a match, and then you're waiting another minute and a half while you're on the barge, and then you jump, and so it could be 5 minutes between matches.
Yeah.
And you go down real quick, and you got to wait another 5 minutes to get back into another match. I love Realm Royale, guys. I think it's a great game. It's just the group that we hang out with doesn't want to play it as much anymore, for various reasons, and that's fine. I'll probably play it again at some point.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I will.
Where it goes on. It's a great
I always said
up and run game.
I always had fun playing it for probably about an hour or two, and then I start getting salty.
So, segueing again, guys, now that we've talked about that, our other project we're working on, which will air officially next week, we do have our D&D, trying to get things to load up here, and it's not working for me. Technical difficulties. We do have our D&D, and the commands aren't working. Go figure. But next week we start a Ravenloft campaign right here on this channel. We've got 4 great guys as players, and we've got a great DM, I think, chosen for this campaign. Tap, you're awesome, dude. Next week we start playing this campaign, guys, and this week we've got character bios coming out or player bios of everybody who's going to be in the campaign. And then starting next week, we start sending out an update for all of the characters, so you guys can kind of get a little rundown on those characters. We've got experience levels beyond belief as far as this group goes. We've got one guy who is a former DM, or he still DMs, he's just not in this campaign. We've got, I'm a veteran D&D player from 3.5, new to 5th edition. Thorne, I think you're the same.
Yeah, well, I've played a little bit more, I think, 5th ed than you have. But yeah, pretty much.
So we're kind of new there. And then we've got a guy who's never touched 5th edition, but he's a big 3.5 player. So we've got a wide variety of group. Tap's very, very good at, telling stories. or at least so they tell me. We'll find out coming up here real soon, guys.
I can't make the heart hands.
Heart hands.
Yeah, it's like I don't know if it's like physically impossible for me to make the heart hands,
With your big old clubs.
but it just looks like I'm like physique on the Princess Bride. It's like yeah. So anyway,
We've got a lot of things that we hope to do with this campaign. We are going to be running it right now to start off with once a month, and we'll know roughly. I'm going to try to figure out our next campaign date after this first one, so we know ahead of time before the next one hits. Our plan is to do this podcast twice a month and then that once a month as of right now. We're not holding to a strict schedule because we know shit comes up for us both, and we have to do things like that. But that's what we want to do, and this is another one of our babies.
Honestly, it'd be a lot of fun to do the podcast 2 times, like every other week, and then D&D every other week to fill in.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
4 shows a month on this channel, and that would be awesome. That's the hopefully plan, but right now we want to get it off the ground. I want time between the first ones to get any mistakes that we need to correct, because Lord knows we're going to have technical difficulties.
Yes.
And then we'll get it off the ground, and then we'll start bringing them in closer and closer together as the players are available. So that's kind of what we want to do. So next Wednesday, 9:30 p.m. Eastern, will be our first D&D session.
I think I still have the character card file in Photoshop.
Yeah, we need to probably discuss that because D&D Beyond is giving me issues, so we might do the character cards.
Yeah.
And I've got an idea of what I want to do for that, so I will discuss that a little bit later.
Yeah, I just found it. Still have it.
Ravenloft is how do I put it? It's a setting that personally I grew up with in 3.5. It just the dark horror, gothic horror atmosphere drew me in. Gypsies and vampires and werewolves and all that crazy shit. So this is gonna be fun, guys. So, Dungeons and Dracula.
Pretty much. That's accurate.
It'll be fun. So,
That is accurate.
well, do we want to go into anything else with the on this stuff, or are we going to go into a little bit of the NFL stuff before we wrap it up here?
That's up to you. What time is it? It's 9:30. I mean, that's your call there. We can do that. Okay, so I'm a Packer fan. Okay, I am sick and fucking tired of hearing about the relationship between Aaron Rodgers and Matt LaFleur. I am beyond tired. It's like, Aaron Rodgers doesn't like that they have a joint practice with the Texans. Matt LaFleur thinks the joint practice is a good idea. There must be problems in Green Bay. And it's like, I'm so, these writers and these media people are so starved for a good story that they are grasping at straws. God, this is 2 adults that have a different opinion about something. Where is this news? I don't understand.
It's the same. I get the same thing down here as a Cleveland Browns fan. This whole mess with Baker Mayfield came out and said that back in April. Okay, right after the draft, he comes out and says, "I can't believe the Giants drafted this guy, not because he's a bad quarterback, but because he hasn't proven himself." And they're like, and he made all these other comments, and the media is just throwing the comments together and making up stories and throwing it at him. So it's like, all right, what do you do? The media is you have to pick and choose what you pay attention to, and that's going on. But I can say, as a Browns fan, having a quarterback like I do, he can say anything he fucking wants to.
It's ridiculous, and Antonio Brown and holding out over a helmet, and so I'm sorry, something is not right with that guy. There is something not right. I mean, he steps into a cryotherapy thing and gets,
With wet socks.
you know, yeah, without any protective gear on, and he gets
Frostbite.
frostbite on his feet.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me, man? You're like a multi-million, almost billion-dollar person, and you do that.
It's
Yeah,
amazing.
holding
So
out
much
over a
things.
helmet, and then you have Dax Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott holding out because Dak Prescott thinks that he's a $40 million quarterback, and he's rated like 20th in the league. So
if
it's
you
just
if you give Dak $40 million, you might as well cash in your NFL card for the next 10 years because
Yeah.
you're an idiot. I'm not saying Dak is a bad quarterback. He just
He's
hasn't proven that he can win without Ezekiel Elliott in the backfield.
well, he's proven that he can lose.
Yeah.
With his, I mean, he has that offensive line, that awesome offensive line. He's had Ezekiel Elliott and nothing to show for it. I mean, so and the thing is, it's just not. If he's a $40 million quarterback, then Baker Mayfield, Aaron Rodgers, Matt Ryan, even Jared Goff, they have to be like 50, 60, $70 million quarterbacks if this is how we stacked everybody. So that's crazy.
All right.
I just
The news
that's enough about football.
The news is over. So real quick here. Real quick rundown here. I'm going to go through the divisions real quick. Just who do you think is going to? Do you see anybody in the AFC East overseeing the Patriots?
No.
Do you? The last thing I have is, do you think that the Jets have the talent to do so?
No, I would say the Bills before the Jets.
You think the Bills are going to have a better season than what the Jets are?
Better season than the Jets. Yeah,
See,
I think it'd be Patriots, Bills, Jets, and Dolphins.
I
think that's
disagree
the
on
way.
that because Sam Darnold is a hell of a lot better quarterback than what Josh Allen's going to be. Josh Allen is going to be terrible, and I think that's going to be the downfall of the Bills is that quarterback pickup.
Yeah.
So, you go to the AFC North. Okay, this is my division, guys. I personally think the Browns are going to end up somewhere in the range of 11-5. Looking at their schedule, it's an easy schedule this year. They're going to drop games that they should win, and they're going to win games they should lose. Only really two tough teams on there. I see them coming out of the North as the AFC North champions, and everybody else taking a step back. I personally see Browns, Steelers, Ravens, Bengals.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Okay, you go to the South, and this is where I think is going to be the toughest division in the NFL this year. You're going to have the Colts, Texans, Jaguars, and Titans. All four of those teams have enough talent that any one of those could come out of that division as a deep run in the playoffs.
Yeah, I don't see the Texans going. I think that's between the Colts and the Jaguars. I don't know if Andrew Luck. I think Andrew Luck's time might have passed him.
It's going to depend on how he comes out of this latest thing. He heals slow, and that you're going to have to live with that.
Yeah.
But he came out last year and he lit the league up after coming back off the shoulder surgery. I think he's going to be fine. I think a lot of it's a smokescreen.
Could be.
So, we'll see. But I think that's going to be one of the toughest divisions in the league this year. The West.
AFC West. Yeah.
This one's pretty easy. I think it's going to be Chiefs and San Diego are going to fight it out like they did last year. The Raiders and Broncos are going to fight for the bottom of the division.
the Raiders are going to be asking for Hard Knocks to come back because that's the only way they're going to get on any kind of like primetime TV is if Hard Knocks is there. John Gruden, I think John Gruden, just on the Raiders real quick, I think John Gruden is a very smart football guy. I do not think he should have made it back because I think he just tarnished his whole legacy by going back to the Raiders.
Signing a 10-year deal too last year.
Yeah, that's just.
So the Raiders, he's gonna be there for at least 7 years. You're not
Yeah.
going to can him after 3 years and pay him for 7 more. You know, so he's going to be there for a while, whether you like it or not. So,
Yep.
going to the NFC, you've got the NFC West. You've got the Rams, Seattle, Arizona, and who am I missing out of that one?
Cardinals. 49ers.
49ers. Garoppolo.
So I think it's
Garoppolo looked like garbage this
yeah.
preseason.
Well, Garoppolo is he's not. It's the Rams out of the West. I think the Rams,
Rams, Seattle.
Rams, Seahawks, Cardinals, 49ers. I mean, that's the way that it's stacked up.
I think that I think you're going to have it like you do in the AFC West. You think you're going to have a battle between the bottom 2 teams for who's going to have the worst record. I don't see. There's not enough there around Kyler Murray to make that team successful. You know. So
No.
You got the NFC South. You've got
Falcons, Panthers, Saints, Buccaneers.
Buccaneers are the bottom of that division.
Yeah. I think the Saints. I really think the Saints will win the South.
Yeah, Saints there. Atlanta might make a wild card.
Yeah.
There's nothing really there. I think that's the way that one's going to turn out. Really good division, but I think that's the way that one's going to come out. You've got the NFC North: Bears, Packers, Lions,
And Vikings.
Lions are the bottom of that division.
Yeah, the Lions are the bottom. Sorry, I'm going to be a homer. I'm going to say the Packers. Packers, Bears, Vikings, Lions.
To me, it's Chicago's division to lose. You know, I want to believe in Aaron Rodgers, but I don't know what they're going to do this year.
I think they are going to I'm picking like 12-4, maybe 13-3. I mean,
they may. It's just that defense is going to give them fits all day long for the Bears. So
yeah,
that's a 3-team race for the top of that division, and however it crumbles is how it could go. You could have 3 teams coming out of that North for the playoffs too.
Yeah, for the division and then 2 wild cards. Yeah,
the Vikings depend on Kirk Cousins. Which Kirk Cousins are we going to get? By the way, biggest bust last year for free agency. He's not worth the contract he signed.
That's not about $84 million all guaranteed contract. Are you kidding me? Whenever somebody says the Vikings season rides on Kirk Cousins, I mean that is so bad.
I'm wrong.
No. I mean, I think I think he's always been a mediocre quarterback. I don't think that he's ever been good. I think he benefited coming out of that Redskins when they had some kind of year where nobody expected them to do anything, and it's when the Cowboys and the Eagles were both down. The Giants weren't doing anything. That they're like, oh, Kirk Cousins is amazing. He's so good. Oh, no, he's not. Yeah. He's always been this quarterback, and he's just gonna.
He had a lot of good receivers in Washington. He had Deshaun Jackson for a while there, and then a couple other ones that stepped up. It was
he has he had Mohamed Sanu, didn't he?
I think
for
so.
the tight end. Yeah.
Some good players, and that made him. He's got some good ones in Minnesota too. We'll see how this year goes in year 2. He's had time to work with all the receivers. Let's see what happens in year 2.
No, it's.
They have the potential to be.
Thank God I will not have to listen to that damn horn blowing all the time.
We got the NFC East, and this one's a no. I mean, you've got Dallas, you've got Washington, Philly, and the New York Football Giants.
I cannot decide between the Cowboys and the Eagles. I can't.
This whole season depends on what Zeke does. If they don't sign him and he does hold out, it's the Eagles all the way. Well, as long as Carson Wentz stays healthy.
Yeah, you know what the funny thing is that Jerry Jones is just the kind of owner to not mess with this, because his ego is like, it's larger than that monstrosity of a stadium that the Cowboys play in down in Dallas. But it's like he will like just stomp his feet and fold his arms just for the hell of it.
Yeah.
And so I don't. The only way I see this coming, like Elliott and Prescott playing, is if they do it on Jerry Jones'
Well,
terms.
Prescott, I don't think's holding out. He's going to play out. He just is not going to sign a contract for less than $30 million. You know,
Yeah.
he wants 40, settle at 35, call it a day. I still think it's overpaying him, but you know, it is what it is.
If anybody wants to do it, it's Jerry Jones. So
The most interesting team in this division, though, is Washington and what they do at their quarterback battle. You have the former Chiefs quarterback out with a broken leg. Colt McCoy's still out with a broken leg. You got Case Keenum, you know, who looks like he's going to be the starter for at least the first 4 games. Their schedule is really tough the first 4 games. They've got the Giants. I'm sorry, not the Giants. They got Eagles, Bears, Cowboys, and then there's one other team in there. I think they play the Giants in there too. So they got one cupcake game in all of that. I think Haskins is the future of that franchise, but until he makes the field,
oh God, they Eagles, Bears, Patriots. Then their cupcake is the 49ers coming to town. Then they're on the road to the Bills.
who's that? The
Then
Washington?
yeah, Redskins.
Yeah.
They have the Eagles, Bears, and Patriots as their first 3 games of the season.
And
The
now-
Redskins are going to be 0-3 to start out.
But that's why I think it's wise to kind of start Case the first few games, because that way he's not going to. The Bears are just going to rip whoever is alive on that.
Yeah, why don't you just will Colt McCoy out there?
What's he going to do? Break the other leg?
Right?
And that's the basic rundown, guys, of that one there. What I want right now is who do you think is going to be in the AFC Championship game? If you
AFC Championship?
Yep.
You'd have to say the Patriots, and if I had to say it, to be Patriots and Chiefs.
That's not bad. Being who I am, it's going to be the Patriots and the Browns. You know, because I just think they're that team this year. So we've got that one there, and I obviously think, you know, I'm hoping until as much as I'm a Browns fan, though, until somebody dethrones the Patriots will probably be back in the Super Bowl again. Blah.
God, I can't stand the Patriots. Fucking Patriots. Man.
But and then what do you got for the NFC Championship game?
NFC Championship. The NFC. So the AFC, I think, is a lot more spread out than the NFC. I think actually football this year mirrors what baseball is with the American League and the National League.
Yeah.
I would, if I just looking over the teams, I think the Rams take a step back. I don't think the Rams make it to the championship game.
Okay.
If I had to say anything, I would say the Packers win the NFC North. The Bears get the wild card. And I would have to say that it would be a Packers-Bears NFC Championship game.
That would be interesting. You know,
Well,
times
it
in one
happened.
season. Yeah.
It happened back in 2010, and the Packers won the wild card, and the Bears won the division. The Packers went into Chicago, and they won the NFC Championship there. So that's the year that they won the George Halas Trophy, and they brought the Lombardi Trophy home also. So I would have to say that, and I'll be a homer. I'll say the Packers in the Super Bowl, and I would say the Packers and the Patriots in the Super Bowl, and finally, crossing my fingers, somebody dethrones Tom Brady. Like,
I'm gonna
so
say
it'd be the battle of 12s.
for me it's gonna be the Bears and the Saints in the championship game.
Oh, okay.
Which I think the Saints somehow sneak that one out because I just don't have faith in Mitch Trubisky. And so you have the Saints and Patriots in the Super Bowl.
I'm
With-
all out.
with the Saints hopefully dethroning and sending both Brady and Breeze off into the sunset.
And Belichick too. Take Belichick with you.
I think that's going to be a package deal. I think you're going to have that as a package deal. When one walks, the other one's going to follow. Tom
Yeah.
says he wants to go to 45, which gives him 3 more years, which is what his last contract's for. I think you'll see 3 more years of them two together, and then you'll see nothing from there on out. And the Patriots will fall to the bottom of the league.
Oh, you know, Brady sold his home in
I
Foxborough.
don't think it means anything. Giselle's
No.
probably got a bigger one in Europe, so
True.
You know, I don't think there's anything from that. I think
It's just funny that Tom Brady is this, you know, like has all these Super Bowl rings and he still plays second fiddle to Giselle.
Yeah. That's- but he's a quarterback who's doing it right. He's never been the highest paid quarterback in the league
Oh no, he gets it on the bonus,
because he wants his
the signing bonus.
team to be able to sign better players, which they never do. He just somehow makes it
But
work.
somehow they always get like these unknown guys, like they're at Walmart in the checkout lane and be like, "Hey, do you want to play corner?" Sure. And then the guy catches an interception on the 1-yard line of the Super Bowl, and
Yep.
you know, so it gives the Patriots the win. You know, it's just crazy.
Again, I think it's until I'm standing by it, as much as I hate to say it, until somebody beats the Patriots and dethrones them, they're the favorites to win it because they just know how to do it. And that's simply it. You know.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they're the most talented team, they just know how to win. Plain and simple. Well, guys, I think that is do you want to touch anything on baseball or are we good for now?
No, I'm tired of baseball. My Brewers are just sucking it up. I don't want to watch baseball anymore.
A month ago, Thorne's like, yes, the Brewers are going all the way. Yeah, they suck.
No, I never said that. I was actually at the trade deadline. I was like, you know what? They're not going to make it to the World Series. You just need to sell. I mean, you have Mike Moustakas. You have what's his name, the
Yeah.
catcher. Yeah, just sell because you're not going to make it to the World Series. So just get what you can out of them. And no, we're gonna bring in Jordan Lyles, who used to pitch for us and is like, you know, underhand throwing it across the plate. You know, okay.
Yeah.
I told you I told you I wasn't gonna go here. I'm gonna stick by it. I'm not gonna go here because I've had a good night and I don't want to ruin it.
All right. So, guys, it's been episode 4. We're going to call that in the books, guys. Appreciate y'all hanging out with us tonight.
3.5.
3.5. It'll be episode 4 when we actually post it up on YouTube. Although there'll only be 3 episodes listed. People be like, well, where's
You know,
episode 3?
You know
We'll
what
find it
we
someday in the archive.
what we do is like years and years down the road, be like, it's the lost episode 3.
We've got more grays than what we do now.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm like bald or something, man.
Guys, check us out next week here on this channel for some D&D. Curse of Strahd will be live 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 8:30 Central, so on and so forth down the line. And then we'll be going for about 3 hours. First episode will be a little bit of an explanation of the players, a little bit of their characters, and then we'll hopefully get into the story, and hopefully it won't take us 2 hours to get into everything. Hopefully we can get going within like 30 minutes, and then we'll be into the storyline from there on out. So stop back for that, guys. It's going to be a good time. I'm hoping to put on a good show for you guys, and that will be that one there. Any last words, Thorn?
No, all good here.
All right, guys. We appreciate you very much. This has been a technically difficult podcast coming at you live from the Misfit Studios, wherever that may be. Have a good night, everybody.
Somewhere. Y'all take care.